Hey everyone, it's Peter from the Yaw team, and I will test the Yaw2 motion simulator today with go-karting in KartKraft. So on the PC, I've got the Vive Business Streaming open already. I'll open up the Fanatec control panel just to double check if the steering wheel is operating. Then I'll also open the Yaw game engine. Now this is already the new design. I'm not sure if this is public yet, but it will be soon. And here I'm going to choose KartKraft. Before starting the plugin, I'll just show my settings. So this is a quite basic setup for basic motion. So unfortunately we don't have data for wheel forces, but we do have for pitch roll. With these multipliers I felt it comfortable. The acceleration axis for pitch as well. I have a constant just to feel the engine vibration. Traction loss, I put roll and yaw to traction loss. So that's when you lose control of the vehicle, for example, in the turns, you feel that you're actually getting pushed to the side. And for these multipliers, I have limitation of 4 and 8 for the pitch movements, so that it's not getting that extensive, exaggerated motion, but something close to the sim racing setup. And the roll, I decided to put some more limitation on it, or some less limitation as compared to the sim racing where I had it set up for, I know, 3 or 4 degrees, because it just felt better. Power is 40% because I'm not that heavy, but it's more power than usually with other games. So I like these intense, quick, sudden motion in the game, just as with sim racing games, because that's quite similar. Now I will go on and start a game from SteamVR from the HTC Vive Focus 3, and then I will start the plugin and the device. Okay, so let's see the Vive. Actually, I can do everything from the Vive now. So I'll just go and sit into the simulator, which is like, this is probably an old design. It's a little bit harder to get in, but I showed it in one of the previous videos. But because I'm a little bit skinny, I'm just using this method. Now, one more important thing here is motion compensation. So this is a pretty new feature. We have this calibrate button installed, with which I will set my center of rotation, or I will have the game realize where my center of rotation is. It does a calibration with some pitch movement. We just need to wait for it start, and then it does some pitch movement to calibrate my position, and then it will automatically know it. It is, or it should not be needed each and every time you sit in the simulator, but each and every time a different person, or one that's significantly higher, taller sits in the simulator. Now, unfortunately, this cancels the game when I'm using the focus free, but not when I'm using the Quest, which is a little bit strange, but it's not a big deal. We'll try to solve this. I'll just reopen the game now. And of course, again, looking at the desktop, I see that the game is starting. One more thing I can do in the meantime is to open motion compensation itself and hit apply. And let me just double check. So the game engine, yeah, I should open up the game engine again because it was closed after the calibration. Now that's one bug we have to look at. And again, start plugin, start manually, start device, and then I would set it up with the controllers, although technically I could be doing it with the wheel. And I will get rid of these controllers in a second. I'll just set my center first. Game is loading, let's hit drive, and now I can reset my seated position. Now this is perfect, so I can get rid of these controllers, which is easier if you have a table or something that's closer. So let's see. Now for this I have the different buttons set up for menu navigation. From the Fanatec you need to do this manually, by the way. So let's see, I do feel the vibration from the engine, which is pretty cool. Feels realistic. It's sort of like a constant vibration. I can also feel the roll and pitch forces. Now a little bit more roll force because I think I was hit by another driver. Probably I'm not gonna be winning in this game now, but anyways, this is just to show the motion off. Now I gotta say that the Fanatec racing wheel adds a lot to the overall experience. I mean, I love the steering wheel. It has a very powerful force feedback. I think I have it set up at 100%, so that's why it's a little bit harder to hold it. You need some grip, but oh wow, that was good. That was sort of like a traction loss. Maybe this is even larger. So back to the steering wheel, I really love this force feedback. So whenever I'm not holding the wheel, it like literally loses control over the vehicle right away. You do have to have some grip. Now about the simulator, in turns I have, like, these might be a little bit exaggerated, the roll motion, but I like feeling this in the turns. It's up to your personal tastes, so you can set it up differently, of course. You can set up the limits, the forces, whatever in the game engine differently. I do miss the wheel forces, the forces when I hit the side of the track or the grass even. But what is pretty fun is when you hit the cones, you feel it from the pitch movement that you are elevating from the ground for a few seconds. Now I'm not gonna be winning again because I was doing too much talking here, but I think you can at least get some idea about how the Yaw2 motion simulator works in this game. And I gotta mention that motion compensation works well. I mean, I know I'm not getting this very very intense yaw movements, not even in these turns, but previously, without this automatic calibration that I showed you in the game engine, it was way worse. So again, these are just the basic forces, the basic motion in the game, like pitch, roll, and yaw, but no, and of course the vibration from the motor, but no forces from the wheels, which is too bad. I'm not the winner. Surprise, surprise. Maybe I will do a better run next time here. But yeah, so I do love this motion sim and racing wheel. So actually last time I forgot to activate the force feedback. So the force feedback was off last time and it was way worse without it. Okay, I think I finished. Yeah, finished last. Anyways, it was just about showing the motion of the simulator and showing the overall experience. So I hope you guys get a great idea about this experience and I hope you enjoyed the video. I did, so it was very fun to play this game. I love the not too intense, not exaggerated as in some of the previous videos motions. So it's close to a sim racing setup, but a little bit more intense. This is just up to my preferences and tastes, but you can set it up your own way. You can set up every different motion differently in the game engine again. And the biggest thing here in this video, I think, is the motion compensation. So that worked pretty well. I love the new feature in the game engine and hope you guys will also check it and like it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.